We live in an era. So here, welcome to our newest video. We're making this one a very different sort of one. So I'm gonna skip this start. We're gonna get really quick. I'm gonna get into a discussion of something really serious that's been come as of recently. So all of you have watched that. Most of you that have watched it by now, that's been released or now it's already public, is that Rick Beato video that's out right now. Hello there, my name is Fizz. I've been at this for 7 years on YouTube, but the music thing for quite a while. 5 years officially, but the rest were all a different sort of thing. But that's not the attention to the video. The attention to the video is the very thing that it is titled about. A world where not there's no dominant music form. There's no like exactly as Rick Beato is explained here. I mean, I want to open the video for all of you, if I must. But so he brought up a really great question. He brought up a really great idea to bring up into front of people's faces that might need to know about this. So I feel like you all must know about this. I know about it. I knew about it. I felt it. I've already understood. Is the what the fuck is the musical era we're in? What era of music are we in? Usually they have labels for countries, maybe a trend or something, but we're talking about the internet. We had things like these already labeled. Just like he says, like there's like very dominant forms like the swing in the 1930s and 40s, right? And we had pop in the 80s, and as he said, 50s, 60s, I guess the rock and roll scene and stuff. And, like those were dominant. You can tell they were run everywhere, stuff like that. I want you to look at this playlist here, and I'm going to show you why I'm putting this up on my screen. I'm going to show you all. Pay attention. Hope you're paying attention. I'm going to bring this up the post genre musical era. If any of you know what that is basically say a mix of different genres of any very sorts or kinds can now whatever comes up on the internet. You could find a song like rock anywhere. Yeah, it gets millions of streams. Maybe something like your favorite anime song gets like hundreds of millions of streams. Great. But then suddenly a song like he says with bossa nova in it makes like 500 million streams on YouTube or on Spotify, whatever you want to think about. And then some song with shoegaze on it makes like 30 million streams on Spotify. And then there's all of these. Look, so I want you all to look at these. Look at these specific songs. This one's by Deadmau5, Strobe. This is a cover song made by Iron Mouse, which is Edge of This World, which is covering a song literally called Edge of This World. This is Roundabout by Yes. This is Donald Glover, The Biggest Troll. I Want You by the Beatles, Nice and Funk, Pong. There's different ones, right? That's just the start. So I had pulled up this thing here. There's this Pi Analyzer chart that I brought of songs that I visited. I don't know if it shows up on my screen properly. I'm gonna put it like this. I want you to all look very closely. I want you to look very closely to what you see here. This is what a pie chart analyzer, a playlist analyzer saw when it looked into the music choices that I looked into. And from the start of it, it's just giving me, oh, this is like the amount of artists that you know, how many times they've been saved into your playlist. So I want you to look at the statistics for this. Your favorite year in music was 2024. Uh, to first explain this, so what you're seeing here is that it recognizes that I've saved songs from these years released. How many times the song pops up, albums, number of albums or songs. That's what it counts as, and it shows right there, every one of them, right, from 1969 to 2024. But then if you realize, I want you to all look, and I bet you're not going to recognize any other artist once I scroll down here. I'm making sure I check my OBS so you all can see that. I want you all to look at all these artists here, and I want you to see if you can recognize any of them by name. Recognize any of them by name. Just look very closely and tell me which ones you recognize. Do you recognize any of them? Raise your hand up, comment down below, won't you? I'm gonna do this very slowly just for you. Do you recognize any of them? Just real quick. Just do this real quick. Look at it real quickly. Alright. How many of those do you think made millions in records? How many of those do you recognize popped up on like the music billboard or whatever, Hot 100 or something? How many of those appeared in your favorite video games? How many of those are not from video games? How many of those were done by an influencer? How many of those were made by somebody who is currently still alive on this planet Earth? Alright, now I want you to look at a data set from a playlist that it analyzed with only a fraction of what you just saw pop up on the screen, but just like a slight amount. I want you all to look at this. Right here shows the rest of them. This playlist that you saw in the beginning has around 3,375 videos in it, which are songs, right? This one right here shows you all of them stacked in albums, even if the song wasn't originally posted by the artists themselves. And right now I'm trying to currently make sure that the songs are posted by original artists, and I'm saving the video into this playlist somewhere. That playlist is gonna keep updating. I want you all to look at this. Look at the data. It says 1969 to 2024. Look at the number of them. Now look at the amount of artists in this circle right here. Look at how many times they were saved in this. I want you all look very closely. It's not gonna fit on the page because it's like it's so massive. Every time I do this though, it's like it's a little hard to see. Alright, I can't really change the size. Jamiroquai, Camellia, Danger, Daft Punk, Taiko Oniki, and Girard, Firna, Boards of Canada, Evan Call, Hiroyuki Sawano, Geolite, Soho Dolls, Pendulum, Pepwood Nerves, Waterflame, Hako Spells, Death Election, Yes, both Azelstan, or Stan, or whatever they say, Panda Eyes. This right here is Lemons Garden. I'm assuming that's one of them. Ballpoint, Mori Calliope, Ludwig Forcell, Midnight Grand Orchestra, Childish Gambino, Seaford 18, Kaim, Infected Mushroom, Yuki Hayashi. I want you all to go say it right now on the stage. How many do you actually recognize? Alright. So I gave you time to see if you actually recognize anything. I'm sorry, this isn't going to be a really structured video, so I'm going to make this into a podcasting. I'm going to make a proper video for this later on, with a proper thumbnail, a proper camera setup, my phone instead of this camera. This camera is cool, but my PC won't want to. It's not going to let me like recording like 7080p or 4K. So that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So when I'm gonna properly soon make a video first. So this is not the current moment. This is gonna be a podcast, and then the proper video is gonna be released. Because I want to talk about that one soon. Post genre means like again, you won't tell what is the dominant genre. You can't tell what genre is about that now. That is your opinion. But then it's like, is it really my opinion, and is it really your opinion? Because then that's when I realized that all these artists here, they don't make the same sort of music, and they're equally putting out all of this content and all of these music pieces, or whatever you want to say, songs, albums, EPs, LPs, extended audios, skits, role plays, or whatever, stories to their songs. And if you recognize, all of them don't exactly come from the same era. Let me help open your eyes. I know every one of those artists that you see on the screen right here. I know all of them. All of those that you see here, when I scroll through these like few batch of all of these artists here, that the website's able to able to calculate here, because I'm so glad this actual website actually exists though. This right here, I recognize every one of these that you see by name, There's a little bit of the album. There's the release date that it thinks it released. I know all of them. I see people going, huh, I really miss the 2000s. Oh, I really miss the 2010s. Oh, I miss the 1990s. I miss the 1980s. I miss the 1970s, etc. So after a long time, I guess you can call myself one of the strangest humans ever. I decided to go and say, so what if I just shut the fuck up, do my job, and so delve into myself, Then I guess I learned a lot of things about myself while rating these. Is go into albums that I would choose to ignore back then and review them now. And after around, let's say, 3.5 years of just going back and forth through albums, songs, LPs, whatever, same list of things I don't have to repeat, this is how much data is sort of, it's like shown here. It shows like whatever albums it found. Here's the thing. It doesn't show how many songs because that'd be ridiculous, and the thing would have to try to calculate all of this, which are 3,375. And I've always recorded when it hit another 1,000 songs or audios saved into this playlist that are so far as of now still published, so you'll know, published, not deleted. And most chances, somebody in this playlist, somebody who's an artist, a band, a duo, a orchestra, whatever, so there's most likely chances somebody is dead in this playlist and they no longer make music, or their band still continues, but the original said artist layout of people that were hired to do their job will continue, but the main people are no longer there and are dead. So you can get a perspective of where I'm coming from. And there are also high chances that somebody here might be somebody of 20 years of age or of 50 years of age, which is what you'll find in this playlist very commonly. And there are chances that that whatever that you find here in this playlist, I'm gonna link you all to this playlist, that the songs aren't even posted by the original person behind the song. For example, what do you see here? Eisenfunk Punk remastered the W high audio is it shows this. I didn't save the one where there's like a very low quality footage of like this song was posted with the audio, and it's very low res. The audio is very chipped. And now with the YouTube feature where it auto generates songs that you see often, I'm gonna scroll down for you. Make it scroll down very slowly for you, like very slowly. I'm just gonna make it faster. Slightly slower. I'm gonna put it like that. I'll let it go, and I want you all to look through as it scrolls automatically. It would reload the page for the moment. It's gonna hit a limit, and I want you to try to name and look at the artist. I want to see if any of you recognize at all what you're looking at. If you don't, that's okay. But let me tell you, let me open your eyes a bit. So I went, looking through albums and songs that I visited, that I ignored. There's my own music at times. I started to discover a certain, I started to discover a certain connection that a lot of these things are kind of starting to connect together. I figured there were certain eras where, that's like Rick Beato said, some were very dominant. But then now we're in the 2020s, and now every time I try to go, oh, this genre is dead now, or maybe this genre is currently exploding, it's going back into the music scene, and everybody's talking all about it, everybody knows. I can't do that, because then later I'd be wrong. I check back, and then some new artist or some industry plan or some TikTok influencer is suddenly on the rise making songs, and they're getting millions of views or whatever, and they're finally making it and then they say this like snob story of like, oh, for 9 years or for 5 years I was suffering and I need to help my family, whatever story that they make up. And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna bring the rap rock scene back. And I'm like, wasn't it the complextro scene that needed to come back? It wasn't the complextro scene dying? Right. So then I'm like, so, oh, we're gonna bring Bossa Nova back with this one, and Acid Funk should come back. Yeah, Acid Funk's been dead since the 90s. And I'm like, but I thought people called Psytrance and Hybrid Orchestra dead since the 90s. But that's what a few people said. I hear other people saying the exact opposite. They say, "Oh, it's been living and it's living. Our blood is running and they're still alive and kicking. This genre's been living for a long time, since before you were even 10 years old, Viz." And I'm like, huh? Weren't everybody saying that this genre is dead? No, it's not that. I go over, I check somebody else's YouTube channel, and the video, in the genre that people would call us dead, there's like a song that's like 109 million views on YouTube. And there's like another one's 36 million, 41 million, 3 million, 10 million, 11 million. And I'm like, oh, so they're saying it's dead. But then it's like, wait, but they're posted by the same person. Oh, I didn't ask these people. I recruit them from the comments and say, "Do you know who Led Zeppelin is?" And like, "What's Led Zeppelin?" And I'm like, "You don't know Led Zeppelin? The very guys themselves, the rock and roll stars, millions of records sold, hyper popular, Kashmir, Stairway to Heaven, the classics, stuff like that." Oh, no, what is that? They make rock music? Yeah, they're in a Hall of Fame. You don't know? Isn't rock music dead? And I'd go, what? Huh? Rock music's dead? Where are you getting this from? Oh, my mother said that rock music's been on a lull recently. I checked my music chart, and there's still a lot of rock music doing millions. I'm like, no, the rock music's fine. And that's when I realized that it's not the same. So, what if I were to tell you that in social media, back then they used to distribute newspapers, radio, they broadcasted music of sorts, right? That get on there, right? That you all know. It gets on there. They used to do that. So when it's more social media, influencer, curated, influenced, stuff like that by people that aren't necessarily musicians. Every one of them, like Rick people said, he asked Mr. Beast who Prince is, and Mr. Beast didn't know shit about Prince, though he's like one of the biggest men on like the planet Earth right now, one of the biggest humans that's well known with 300 million plus subscribers, and he doesn't even know what Prince is. It's like, is 70s, 80s music's dead. It's kind of like outdated or something. But I see 70s, 80s music still good in the charts, like Pink Floyd and a bunch of other names. And like, yeah, Pink Floyd's been really they've been really doing bad recently. And I see Pink Floyd doing as good as normal. And I seen reviews of like the leftover members that are still alive in Pink Floyd make interview videos, and those videos are getting millions of views on YouTube. What do you mean Pink Floyd is dead? That's not what I heard. And then here David Bowie comes up. David Bowie, they say something about David Bowie, and they're like, oh yeah, David Bowie made his last time he was like famous was like 2016. Yeah, he's kind of dead now, man. And he made the great career. And like, what do you mean by that? There's trends of like David Bowie's music again popping up on TikTok, gaining hundreds of millions of views from people doing dances to David Bowie's song and high pitched nightcore remix of it, and it's just everybody's going doing like this all over. It's like, yeah, the art pop and rock and shoegaze and whatever scene for the rock music for like David Bowie is back. Yeah, we're gonna get it back. This is great. We're all alive and kicking. And I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't they say this was dead? Now it's alive over here. It's like, no, we Russians love David Bowie. Or we like this. Oh, our Japanese people, we love music from the 2000s. We like pop music. We like doing this. I like dancing to baby, baby, baby. Oh, and stuff like that. And I'm like, But that music's old. That's the Americans already went through this era, and New Japan's just now visiting that. Because then in Japan, there's been a recent rise of people making songs that sound like songs from the 80s, 70s. And now there's a massive confusion. I was like, what is actually dead? What is alive? What do you think is dead? Is it alive there, but it's dead over here? Is it alive in like in Spotify? Is it doing fine? But in Nico Nico is doing terrible. Look at this. I'm looking at music from like different languages, countries. It's still going. This is still scrolling. Different names, countries, people, gender. You can say guy, girl. Oh, Germany, Japan, Poland. Oh, Finland, America, Mexico, Spain. And it doesn't matter. And then suddenly they're like, oh yeah, I really like their music. Yeah, I think rock music is kind of dead. And I heard that in a video game where people are saying, you listen to rock music? That's for like old people. And I'm like, what? Huh? What? And then I listened to dubstep music and it's like, yeah, it's for rhythm games. Yeah, you guys can listen to dubstep. Dubstep's weird. Dubstep's the thing that goes whoa 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 wah 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 wah. They start like vocalizing dubstep from like 2000s 2010s and like that's not what dubstep sounds like. Look, you guys might know some of these. And then I show them some game like these gacha games or these games from Japanese JRPGs. I show them says, but Dubstep's been doing fine as always. And then I show him a song from like Temanite, who's he makes dubstep, but also melodic dubstep. He makes sort of rocks elements and jazz elements in his music. He likes to go for tunes, and he's really trained in the ear for melodies. And like, oh, this is dubstep music. And like, huh? That's dubstep? Yeah, that's dubstep, man. I thought dubstep was like dead since the 2000s. I was like, kiddo, dubstep wasn't even made that long ago. Dubstep didn't exist for that long. And drum and bass didn't exist for long. What's drum and bass? They ask me. And I go, you don't know what drum and bass is. Yeah, drum and bass has been on the rise, man. Yeah, drum and bass and rap rock's been on the rise. Pendulum and Scarlet SD has been growing long, and I'm like, and they're like, wait. You're saying they're on the rise? Didn't I hear people say that J-pop and Japanese rock music and in very British Japanese rock bands are starting to make the develop scene and saying that they're also rising? And I'm like, what is J-pop? I'm like, what? Wait, slow down. You're saying you don't know what J-pop is? Don't you normally watch anime? What's anime? And I'm like, oh, yeah, how am I supposed to explain that? Wait a second, man. You're wearing a shirt with Goku on it. And then they're like, yeah, that's Goku. Like, have you seen the anime for it? Wait, he's an anime character? Yes, that's it. Wait. Don't tell me. You think Goku's from Marvel. Marvel? What's Marvel? Isn't Marvel like that stuff for kids? I'm like, even I don't say that. And then I'm like, no. Goku is a Japanese anime character written from the 80s, around such or so. Very famous, massive series. Everybody knows what Dragon Ball is. Oh yeah. Goku's from Dragon Ball. They say, and I'm like, yes, that's Goku. That's the guy with the long yellow hair. I'm like, yeah. Man, I thought that anime died a long time ago. I guess I kind of remember. I don't know. I didn't never watch Dragon Ball, but I feel like it's probably a good anime. Like I feel like everybody should watch it. And I'm like, no, man, you don't get this. Dragon Ball is already famous. It already is famous. Oh, I don't remember. I don't think I saw any videos about it online. And I'm like, wait. The algorithm, the algorithm showed them something else. They didn't even know what Dragon Ball is. They just said they heard about it, knew about it, but they didn't even know it was even related to Japan. And I'm like, what? That's weird. And then I go over to the drum and bass scene, and people are like, I miss old drum and bass. I miss old breakcore. I miss those good old days when we listened to that. My bros were listening out, hanging out, playing video games, and playing Mortal Kombat. And we were like making videos on Call of Duty, headshot compilations and stuff like that. And I'm like, huh? And like, yeah, yeah, man, the rock scene's been very dead. Huh? Yeah, drum and bass is like, it's like classics. Like everybody knows this song. You guys know what Pendulum Vault is? Yeah, that's the only banger they made. And like, that's not the only thing they made. Pendulum made like albums right after that one. Oh, Pendulum, yeah. They tell me this. Yeah, Pendulum. I feel like their first album was like the only album they made. I think that's the only album they made. I'm like, and then I go, wait, stop it, shut the hell up. Pendulum made more albums after their first album, and like, yeah, wasn't Pendulum a band from like the 2010s? And that's when I'm like, shh, wait, you think they are from the 2010s? Kiddo, they're literally from the 2000s, the early 1990s, the 2000s. They started around the early 2000s. They're not from the 2010s. They've made albums way before you. And I'm like, man, look, I'm only, and then they say, and look, just so you know, no, these people that I'm talking about are like adults, children, teens, people in their 30s and 40s. Look at this, Roy Scott. People are like making this, like, these guys are famous again. They're viral, but then for some reason in Germany, you try to ask about them, and nobody would say Shrat about them. They would just talk about some different artists and go, yeah, I feel like I've heard this guys before. And then I played Baby Metal, and people are like, "Oh, is that from some anime?" I'm like, "No, that's not from an anime. That's a kawaii metal band named Baby Metal who started in around the early 2010s, and they've been making music like this." And then they're like, "Isn't Are you sure that doesn't sound like a Japanese anime song or whatever?" And like they start mixing it up. And like, no, 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 they don't make music for anime. This is their own music. Like, this is like their own band. Like, this is their own thing. They don't copy bands. This is like their own song. And like, but they like, and then they're like, huh? That's not possible. Huh? The Japanese people, they can make their own songs. I'm like, I'm sorry. Wait. Where are you getting this from? And he said, "Oh, some guy on like Instagram told me that Japanese people don't like they like to make cover songs about like very famous American songs that are and like BTS and something like. I guess that's the only Japanese rock band I know." I'm like, when did you think BTS is a Japanese rock band? Where are you getting this? And see, it just continues. Oh, and every time I want to prove that one of them is wrong, it all ends up the same. I check to see if the songs that they're mentioning, the artists that they're mentioning, the genres, or like as many artists as possible, and as they're mentioning, and see if like what they meant was like probably wrong or right. Like they're exaggerating. Like maybe the thing that they're saying is hype is like already past, and they're just like people who just happen to fall upon the song now and go, oh, everybody knows this. But it's not like that everybody knows this. It's just because they discovered the song and then started talking a lot about it, and they think everybody's talking about it because of the people they talk that they know near around their local area. Um, I checked, and every time I checked the artists or the genres, like the genres and any artists in the subgenres and genres in general, all the songs would still be successful. They would have a community. They'd have rules. They have Discord servers. They have pages. They have merch. Every one of the artists, every artist I find, every genre and subgenre artist that I find, they have labels. They have names. They have English, Russian, Japanese, French, like everything. They have different features. They have communities all on their own. They have kids and teens and old people watching them. They're not even making anything up. Every time that somebody says that something's dead, it's not dead. Every time that somebody says that something's alive, it's also not dead. It's all they're all being watched. It's like, huh. Oh, here we go. There's Asphalt 8 and Tally Hall popping up in Teen Titans and some other names I hear. VTubers, there's Pendulum and Scarlet State, and then there's like this Fear and stuff. Every time I keep going back and forth to a new community online, I would find that everybody keeps saying that something's dead, but it's not dead. But when something is alive, it's also alive and it's still doing fine. I look at everything else and it's still doing fine. And people just go, huh? I miss Astro World from Travis Scott, which is a trap, very mixed trap, future trap, sort of like rap, like type of album with like that visits many things and like hip hop as well, and it visits many themes and it's like very thematic. I don't know, a lot of people know, but when I say a lot of people know, what sort of people all know? And when I looked into the charts and I looked into the numbers, nothing's mixed, like nothing's combining. I can't say, oh, rock is the superior genre of this musical era. No, I can't say that. Oh, what about Japanese music? Yeah, I think J-pop is the very, very superior genre of the music era. Nope, I'm wrong. I think the drum and bass scene is the superior music genre of the music era for now in the 2010s. No, I'm still wrong. Oh, I can say something like, oh, some death metal band. Oh, the dubstep scene is doing like a phenomenal stuff. It's the name of the thing. It's the musical era for dubstep. I'm wrong. Rap is doing amazing. It's the musical era for rap. I'm wrong. So you see where I'm starting to get from, where Rick Beat is also coming from. Everybody's saying this, everybody's saying that. It's not happening. It's not true, but it's also true. There's this. Somebody's talking about it. Somebody's like invested. Somebody's an entrepreneur, contributor to whatever genre it is, and somebody's saying like, "Oh, this artist has been on the rise." Like they look at them do this, and they're charting and making numbers, or maybe they're not making numbers. They're doing small numbers, but they still able to make like these like very amazing things, and they're posting it and distributing it, and people are like, wow, they've revived the genre of complextra. Like when Exile EXYL released his album Save This World, people are like, complextra is alive again. And people are like, no, complextra is always alive. It's been around since the 2010s. What? What? Wait. And then people are like, Creo approves of this saxophone. They approve of this jazz. Whenever a song like in the Geometry Dash community comes up, and it's like the Geometry Dash is like a mobile app or PC game that you can play. It's like rhythm based, and you dodge spikes and you try not to die. Um, yeah. When people say like, "Oh, Creo approves of this saxophone," they're talking about an artist named Creo who's been making music for over a decade. And whenever some saxophone section of the song in this community for any of the artist comes up, like, oh, sax comes up, it's Creole's reference. It says, oh, Creole approves of this sax. And I'm like, oh, Complextra's returning. Yeah, Electro House is on the rise again. Like it's been dead for like 9 years, and like we're bringing it back. And some of the artists are like, we're bringing back rap raw. And then meanwhile, I see a reaction video, some guy reacting to their like some band that they just discovered that their viewer sent them a video of, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I've been a fan of rap rock for like a very long time. Rap rock's been like always my like part of my childhood and stuff like that." And I'm like, wait, what? And then they proceed to go, "Yeah, rap rock's been around for such a long time. It's always been doing great. Like I know people who make rap rock and rap rock, and we're doing fine." Rap rock's been on the rise recently. Huh? And after I saw this artist from like from like Norwegia say rap rock is back, and some guy from like Germany says rap rock is back along with electro house, but somebody else says that it's been on the rise, like rap rock never died, and that's odd to me. So that continued. I'm gonna make a way better concrete video for this, so you all know. This is going on my channel. Uh, I'm just gonna let this go down just real quick. Real quick. Stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna make a more proper video for this later on, so it'll just be kept as a this will just be a podcast video. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it to my podcast section. There's no copyrighted music. I guess I can leave that. There's a lot of stuff in here in the video recording. Follow my Blue Sky, follow my YouTube, and follow my Instagram and Facebook, whatever media's out there for you. All they're out there free for you, and my band lab as well. Our Rolex profile is accessible to you as well. 8Z83 on Roblox. Blue Sky, the Project DN, Instagram, the Project DN, BandLab, the Project DN, YouTube, the Project DN. Subscribe to the new video, my channel if you want to get a 5K goal. This was something we're trying to reach. Stuff like that. I don't like asking for that, but that'll be the only way I will be able to gain a sort of monetization other than the stuff I'm getting from my actual part-time job that I have. So until then, I won't be able to make more ambitious videos as easily because it'll cost me a lot of resources and time. Anyways, yeah, see, there's Vocaloid music coming up. I forgot to mention Vocaloid. She got late for me. I've been talking for like a very long time. Not probably as much as like for like a normal podcast, but I think get that out of the way. Just so y'all know, this is only just the start. All of you, you're looking at this and going, holy goodness, that's how many videos you know? Oh, that's 2 years ago, that's 12 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 years ago, 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 2 years ago, 11 years ago, 5 years ago. I got, I looked at all those songs, looked at them, analyzed them, and put them into charts, ranked them from round 3 for like songs that I think are really good. Once it gets into round 4, it starts to filter more to like 477 videos. It means like songs are like very great, very great. Round 5 are like peak, and then round 6 are like only masterpieces, which are songs that are very, very lengthy, very historically important songs that are tied to mega communities, mini communities, normal communities, channels, brands, stuff like that. It's very connected. Everything's connected. And I looked at all of these, and all of them, they're not even from the same era, not even the same country, gender, they aren't the same age. Search all of these people up there so you know. Search all of them up. They aren't the same age, not the same people. They're not of the same ethnicity. They're not the same sort of content. Some of them are influencers. Some of them are actual musicians. Some of them could be composers. Some of them are influencers with skills and make music. Some of them are people who are already disbanded. Some of them are people who don't longer like where it's just like a one-time thing. Some of these are like, oh, this is a song, it's a rapper song. This is a performance. This is from a music video. This is for a VTuber. This is an emotional song about. This is a cover song. This is a relic. This is a masterpiece coming from like way back then. These guys disbanded, but they left a massive impact on the music. This is a solo from like a video game, but it's like massively taken seriously thing. This is a trance song that ended up in most people's playlist in a different part of the community, the Japanese and different artists. This is Hatsune Miku's Silence, one of the first songs that popped up along with the creation of Hatsune Miku in the back then, and it's still important due to how it also utilizes trance and certain things. Road of Resistance, Metal Galaxy Tour. This is a very once from an album that Baby Metal made. Very vocal and very active and energetic group. One of their greatest songs played by a bunch of dudes who know how to play guitar really well. Ghost Data, Voice of Eternity. This song blew up for them in their era. was taken seriously and was one a very very deep and very very trippy and the real trip to synths and all that. We have Led Zeppelin, rock legends, Carpunito, a little song about world peace and other things like, oh, please save this planet, and they talking about Gaia and whatever. Jamiroquai's Revolution 1993, which popped up in when Jamiroquai was like, big guy, big name popping up in the scene, and the acid funk jazz and um, I guess you can say blues scene. And the Sinking Feelings is for a video game, but this is originally made as a solo solo thing, but came with an album called I don't know which one. It was either Surge, I think it was either Vast or Surge, one of those. And Alpha Male Roy Scott, that came out, one of their hit songs. And Free Bird, you should obviously know the story behind that one. Masterpiece, sorry of a song. Endless Dream, and one of the Yes's more infamous albums because of how people took in the how people started to downplay the newer Yes band members that are making music for Yes now, because Yes is it's been a long time, and the original writer for the songwriter for that group or player, they changed them, and they people were saying, oh, I missed this old player because he was legendary. I guess you can say this is one of the last songs that they people thought were the one of the last times Yes had an actual, Yes felt like an actual band. Precious by Korai, one of their more self and sort of an introspective song on themselves. This is a very vibey one. Ozzy Osbourne, Over Tears, one of their greatest hits. You should know this one. Same for this one. Same for this one. They all have history, and I can go on forever and ever explaining how the Beatles, the game behind this one, the physics, the drama, David Bowie, his death, literally an album made like an artistic album based on his death. This being released after this guy right here, so Danger, he went on a hiatus for years. This guy you might have seen pop up in like the I don't know whatever it was called. I know it was something to do with like some series, sci-fi science fiction series animation where they use his music in the video, and it's some like guy like sprinting really fast. And it's like, and it was based on like the what was it called again? It was based on the I know the series. It was like on a movie. It was like a movie series that was going on. It was like a I don't know what it's called again. It was a franchise. It was like a science fiction thing where people in like a fictional world. Oh, The Matrix. Yeah, The Matrix. He popped up again and came from with like albums. He I think he disappeared, made a few an album for a game, and then pop disappeared for a long time. No activity. Comes back, misses like a massive album with a lot of songs for another video game. So I guess he's making stuff for video games. Ethel Kane, one of her most emotionally most like hardest hitting albums comes from that thing. Ethel Kane, you should see the album. I guess is very recent. And one Metallica, a war protest song, massive, most classic, one of the classics of this band, Metallica. Better World Toto, one of the longest, also one of their classics, and Steal Something from Bring Me the Horizon, one of the most experimental albums that they tried. And there, you might have known that guy from like the "Gun You Fill My Heart" stuff like that, and Camilla Pell Universe Shifter, which you might know from the Oceania 4K World Cup 2023 Jeff Tiebreaker. This is happening in competition on the side of the world, where people are competing to win, and Let It Happen to Impala, which happened to be a trend song, but also one of the most well mixed and well received albums from the music industry, from like veterans. It's genius that this entire album produced by mostly Tame Impala by him, mostly by him, all instruments done by him, and yes, all electronically done, which is very impressive. And again, but still, he's obviously didn't know how to play instruments, but one of the most very fun to listen to albums, and also not released as recently, like around a decade ago and less. But yeah, I can go on, but I don't want to be extending the video too long. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I'll make a proper video on this. Probably didn't exactly explain what I'm talking about, but this sort of explains what I'm talking about. It's post genres. Like there's no exactly like very driving and very superior genre or whatever sort of music that defines the specific music era, wherein you can't just go uh hmm oh, let's call it the rap era, the rap musical era, like the rise of pop, the rise of rap pop or something. Nope, you can't, because then everybody would say that, but then there's like another thing somewhere else blowing up the same way, yeah, as large as rap and hip hop. So you can't say that anymore. And here we go. Yeah, I just said something that kind of explains that. You see, now that I said that, you'd go, wait a second. There, you might be getting onto, yeah, but Requiem also had it. I also had it. I was like, I can't figure out what genre I'd use to explain the year of music. You can go 50s, 60s, like he says, Requiem, and you go, yeah, you can hear that in the 50s, 60s, 30s, 40s. The 80s, you can hear the 80s in your head and go, oh, yeah, I know it. The 90s, yeah. The 2000s, ooh, yeah, I know how that one was like. But then when it's the 2020s, then you go, now it's so massive and spread out. There's like so much of it out there, so much of whatever you find, anything will work. So now it's all mixed and varied, and nobody can tell what the strat is, the music or nobody can tell. Nobody can tell what it is. It's all confusing. People are bamboozled. People are saying that this is dead, this is alive, this has been going. Oh, this is their childhood, and now you can't tell what is exactly is. So that's becoming a problem. So you can all. I'm gonna make a probably video on this soon later on. But I'm leaving this as a podcast. This will be posted on my channel soon, and I'll leave this alone. I've already done my intro, but extra added section in case somebody watched this part of the video. Anyways, that's all I can say. Is I wish I could have said more in this video and just like explained it, made it shorter. But I need to explain like the unnecessary sides and then the necessary sides. Just so y'all know, every one of these artists, all of them are under their name except for like one of them. Yeah, only one of them isn't even done posted by the artist that distributed it. Like for example, Hatsune Miku by Nayuta is a remix or the original song that popped up, I think from like way back then. But it's not even posted under the original creator's name, which is crazy to think about. Um, but the creator wasn't exactly on YouTube by then. People were calling it, oh, Vocaloid was the thing back then in the 2010s, even though people say that rap music and art pop was the thing back then. But then they say hip hop was the thing back then. And then they say their favorite rapper is the thing back then. And like, it's not all everybody's saying whatever. They're saying whatever they want, but it's not able to be proven. So like, oh yeah, I never thought this guy existed, but he always was there. He was there for like 12 years, and then someone go, he was there for 12 years. I thought he made music until now. I'm like, already getting to these conclusions. But yeah, I'm gonna rant along. See ya.